The buzz around the Miami Dolphins potentially targeting Ryan Tannehill as a free agent has fans on edge. Is this a move that makes sense? Could Tannehill really be the answer, or does this feel like a gamble? Whatever your stance, it's impossible to ignore the layers of intrigue surrounding this possibility. Tannehill's history, skill set, and fit within Miami's system are all under the microscope, and opinions are flying fast. At 36 years old, Tannehill might not be the youngest option available, but age hasn't been a significant barrier for him. Standing at 6 feet 4 inches and weighing 217 pounds, he's still a quarterback with a physical presence. He's maintained his athleticism and has proven he can stay in good shape over the years. Yes, injuries have crept in, like the ACL tear in 2016 and recent ankle issues, but he's shown resilience. That resilience matters because durability at this stage in his career will be crucial if the Dolphins want to make a legitimate run at a postseason push. But the question lingers, can his current level of play elevate a team like Miami to the next level? This isn't the first time Ryan Tannehill's name has been tied to the Miami Dolphins. In fact, it was Miami that drafted him back in 2012. His time in South Florida, however, was full of ups and downs, and when he was traded to Tennessee in 2019, many fans believed the chapter was closed. But things changed in Tennessee. With a new system and the right pieces around him, Tannehill thrived. It wasn't flashy, but he found success as a quarterback who could manage games, make smart throws, and let the offense's strengths shine. Now, with Miami reportedly showing interest in bringing him back, there's plenty of debate about whether the same formula could work here. Would Tannehill return as a different player, or would his old struggles resurface in familiar surroundings? One thing that has undeniably improved since his Miami days is his mastery of the play-action game. In Tennessee, playing behind Derrick Henry, he became one of the NFL's best at selling fakes and taking advantage of defenses that overcommit to stopping the run. While Miami's offense isn't built around a single dominant runner, it's built around speed, and that speed could work in Tannehill's favor. Imagine him faking a handoff and then launching a quick strike to Tyreek Hill or Jalen Waddle. The possibilities are enticing, especially if the Dolphins tailor their scheme to Tannehill's strengths. It raises the question, could Miami's explosive, fast-paced style unlock another level in Tannehill's game? What makes Tannehill intriguing is how his skill set often flies under the radar. He doesn't have the cannon arm of a Patrick Mahomes or the electrifying mobility of a Lamar Jackson, but he's quietly effective. His short and intermediate throws are accurate, and his ability to make quick decisions and run-pass options gives him an edge in the right system. That careful, calculated approach might not always deliver highlight reel plays, but it's the kind of consistency that can stabilize an offense. And let's not forget, Tannehill isn't afraid to move. He has enough mobility to escape pressure and even pick up first downs with his legs when needed. He's not flashy, but he gets the job done, and that's not something to overlook. Of course, there are limitations. Tannehill isn't the kind of quarterback who can single-handedly carry a team on his shoulders. He thrives when the pieces around him are working well, whether that's a strong offensive line, a reliable running game, or receivers who can create separation. If Miami is expecting Tannehill to take the reins and win games entirely on his own, they might be setting themselves up for disappointment. But in the right setup, with the right support, he has shown he can be highly effective. The Dolphins would need to carefully assess whether their current roster aligns with what Tannehill needs to succeed. Another consideration is his leadership style. Tannehill has never been known as a fiery, vocal leader. He leads with a calm demeanor, letting his work ethic and professionalism set the tone. For some teams, that quiet confidence is exactly what's needed to keep things steady. For others, it might not be enough, especially in high-pressure situations where a team looks to its quarterback for a spark. Would his approach mesh with Miami's locker room, or would the Dolphins need someone with more energy and presence to lead the charge? That's another piece of the puzzle that can't be ignored. Ultimately, this isn't a move that can be judged on the surface. There's history between Tannehill and the Dolphins, and history has a way of complicating things. On one hand, a reunion could symbolize redemption, a chance for Tannehill to prove that he's grown into a player capable of leading Miami to success. On the other hand, it could stir up memories of inconsistency and unmet expectations. It's a risk, no doubt about it, and the Dolphins will have to weigh that risk against the potential reward. As fans, it's hard not to get caught up in the emotion of it all. The thought of Tannehill returning to Miami, stepping onto the same field where he experienced so many highs and lows, it's a storyline that practically writes itself. But this is about more than nostalgia. It's about whether Tannehill, at this stage in his career, is the right fit for a team that's hungry for a deep playoff run. The Dolphins have been building something special, and every decision they make now feels crucial. Is Tannehill the missing piece, or just another twist in Miami's never-ending quarterback saga? Only time will tell.